Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening. First tonight, after 2 years of closed borders and heavy restrictions, international flights have touched down in Australia once again. It's welcome news for Tasmania's tourism sector, but the influx of overseas arrivals has received a mixed reaction from locals.
Loved ones reunited as Fortress Australia finally came down.
I'm overwhelmed. It's just tremendous. It's the best thing ever.
A long time, eh?
It's been so long.
Yeah.
I just had to suffer it. And here we are now, though. That's all behind us.
We're opening up and we will see it build again with the aviation links being restored, with the support being provided to work with the tourism and travel operators around the world to bring tourists back to Australia.
Dozens of international flights touched down across the country today. Fully vaccinated visitors can now freely travel down under. For those who aren't double dosed, 2 weeks of hotel quarantine awaits. The influx of arrivals receiving a mixed reaction on the Apple Isle.
It's been a long time coming, so yeah, I'm pumped. Let them all in.
Tourism's suffering and we need to get people back. But I think the most important thing is that people got to be vaccinated. Keep the rules tight, let them back in.
Financially, for the country, I think it's a great idea, but I am apprehensive about the spread of the COVID.
It's a welcome move for tourism operators bearing the brunt of 2 years of closed borders. Some hotels are already seeing a boost in bookings.
The further someone comes from, the more they stay and get out into the regions and experience the true Tasmania and spend the money far and wide.
Flights between New Zealand and Hobart will resume on July 7 when our Tasman neighbours reopen their borders to fully vaccinated Australians. It's expected Tasmania will reach pre-pandemic levels of international visitation later this year as more families and friends travel south for moments like this. Ainsley Kosh, 7 Tasmania News.
The Prime Minister announced $86 million of funding for the forestry industry. For more, our reporter Elizabeth O'Neill joins us. Now, Lizzie, what will this money be allocated to?
Good evening, Kim. The money essentially is to establish new plantations, but it's unclear if this will provide any boost to our local forestry industry. It's dependent on both the state government and private industry also making a commitment. So the exact breakdown and which state will benefit the most is yet to be known. The Prime Minister has spent the day touring the state's north and northwest. He attended a winery near Launceston with Treasurer Josh Frydenberg this morning. At the same time, Premier Peter Gutwein was holding a media conference elsewhere, sparking questions to both politicians about why they were not catching up with one another.
Well, look, unfortunately, we're both busy people and I'm sure he has some significant announcements that he'll be making at Joseph Cromie.
I look forward to catching up with Pete when I'm here. I'm not going to play him at pool though. Last time I played him at pool at Launceston, he completely cleaned me up.
Later, an unscheduled media opportunity was organised with the pair. The Prime Minister will be in the state's southeast tomorrow touring Triabunna with Federal Environment Minister Susan Lee. Today's protest in Wivenhoe demonstrating environmental concerns are certainly shaping up as key issues with Tasmanian voters. Kim?
Well, the Prime Minister was also under pressure from unions today. The public sector union has turned the spotlight onto Launceston's Centrelink, claiming labour hire is stripping away job security for staff.
There's 30 staff here, some of which have been here for over 2 years. No sick leave, no holiday pay. That's bad for the worker, that's bad for the community.
The union says a shift away from permanent jobs is also affecting morale for workers. COVID quarantine escapee Tim Andrew Gunn has lost his appeal to reduce his prison sentence. Gunn escaped Hobart's Travelodge Hotel while infectious with COVID late last year, sparking a 3-day lockdown for southern Tasmania. The 31-year-old New South Wales man was sentenced in the Hobart Magistrates Court in December to 10 months jail, with 4 of those suspended. Appearing in the Supreme Court today, Justice Stephen Estcourt dismissed Mr Gunn's appeal. There are calls for more vaccination clinics to be opened in regional areas to improve the state's booster rate. Currently, 53% of eligible Tasmanians have received their 3rd shot. Labor claims people in remote locations are being left behind because they have to travel long distances to access a state-run clinic. Tasmania recorded 569 new COVID cases today. 2 people remain in intensive care. A large-scale police operation has uncovered an illegal cannabis compound on the Furneaux Islands. The search was conducted last week by Tasmanian and federal police and involved helicopters, drones and water vessels. A number of cannabis plants and other drug-related items were seized along with guns. Police say several Flinders Island residents are now facing firearms and drug charges. Rio Tinto is throwing its weight behind Bell Bay, promising to slash emissions and pump more money into its aluminium smelter. The metals giant guarantees the site will run until at least the end of the decade in return for energy security from the state government.
Chock-a-block full of promises in a shiny new deal.
A future of aluminium, but a future of green aluminium.
Under the agreement, Rio Tinto will cut carbon emissions at its Bell Bay smelter and look into expanding the site. In return, the state government will shore up renewable energy supply in the years to come. No big dollar figures or concrete targets, more a handshake agreement.
The key thing is that the energy source and the producer of aluminium needs to work in partnership, otherwise it's not going to work.
The smelter has been running since the 50s and employs more than 500 people. Rio Tinto says it will keep the site going until at least the end of the decade.
After some really tough years, we are making money at the refinery, and we're just trying to get the best out of it.
The agreement fuels Tasmania's ambition to double renewable energy production by 2040.
Where we have common interests, we can move forward, providing both job security, but obviously future long-term investment as well.
Putting the pedal to the metal on a clean, green future. Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
The Jack Jumpers are joining forces with two of the state's leading institutions to raise awareness for ovarian cancer. A number of Tasmanian landmarks will turn teal next week, while the NBL side's next home game will act as a fundraiser for a cause close to their hearts.
A united force teaming up to defeat a difficult opponent. The Jack Jumpers federal group and UTAS hitting the court to turn Tassie teal and help the offence against ovarian cancer.
Whatever we can do to help the community understand a bit more about this and actually educate is the most important thing for us.
And it's not fun. And so if we can level the playing field, that's critical.
It's a disease Scott, a Jack Jumpers director, and his family know plenty about. His wife Jo has battled stage 4 cancer.
For us, our journey involved regular travel interstate. We want to change that.
UTAS and the Rest Point Casino will light up teal all next week. The Jack Jumpers' next home match against the Perth Wildcats on February 28 will host a number of fundraisers, while Metro will donate $1 for everyone who catches a bus to the game. Money raised going to the She Foundation, a local charity promoting education of gynecological cancers.
Get the best possible care that we can get for women and the broader Tasmania, and that's 100% pivotal.
Jo recently taking time to speak to the team about her journey and the importance of the cause.
Just so, entrenched in what Jo had to say.
We've seen that journey and what it's done to their family.
Survival rates remarkably haven't changed in 30 years, with symptoms often mistaken for something else. UTAS's Dr. Eloise Fu, one of the lucky ones who detected it early.
When someone tells you have cancer, you would think that they would be unhappy, but they were thrilled because I was diagnosed early, and that's the difference.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
The annual A Taste of the Huon Festival is set to bring the region to life after COVID cancelled last year's event. 50 stall holders will showcase the area's best produce with plenty of live entertainment on offer.
Now the spirit of the Huon Valley will be alive again by having lots of people come to the valley and create that atmosphere that we've always had there.
The 2-day event will be held at the Ranelagh Showgrounds from March 13.
The Jack Jumpers' march towards an unlikely NBL finals berth continues to gather steam. Tasmania stunned the Illawarra Hawks in Wollongong last night, defeating them 96 points to 86. Their best work coming from outside the arc, hitting a record equalling 22 three-pointers.
Almost. Gonna have to put it up though. Down to 3. Step back 3. Huge!
That is huge.
Coach Scott Roth says his side is starting to grow into their roles and the game plan.
Guys are really just zeroing in on their roles and feeling comfortable about what they have to do to make this team go and what they can contribute on and off the floor for us. And it's been a huge growth period for us.
Their next match is away, facing the Brisbane Bullets on Saturday night. Meanwhile, Tasmania has fallen short in its Sheffield Shield match against New South Wales at the SCG. Chasing 290 for victory, the Tigers struggled to put together a big partnership, losing wickets at regular intervals. Despite a valiant 78 not out from Mac Wright, the Blues eventually secured a 75-run win after tea. Trent Copeland doing the damage, taking 4 for 46 for the home side.
Copeland with 1 wicket needed. Into Siddle, hits up in the air straight to mid-off, and he's taken it. Curtis Patterson takes the catch.
The Tigers have a quick turnaround, facing the Blues in a one-day cup match on Wednesday. Armidale Start has cashed in with the top seller at the Tasmanian yearling sale. Armidale's filly was sold for $150,000 to a Victorian buyer. The horse straight after happened to snatch the second highest price, Grenville Stud's colt, which was bought for $125,000. All in all, there were 146 horses up for auction at Carrick.
Good evening. Hobart a high of 20 today, Launceston 23, Burnie 19 and Devonport 22. St Helens 24 today, the state's high. The Friendly Beaches 23, Flinders Island and Smithton 20, 19 at Low Head, Maria Island and Ouse 18, 17 for Grove and Strawn and Liaweenie 12. Mid to high level clouds seen about the west and south of Tasmania today, with patchy mountain wave cloud about other parts of the state. A band of high level cloud sits over New South Wales. Scattered cloud associated with thunderstorms can be seen over parts of New South Wales, Queensland and the Northern Territory. The rest of the country mostly cloud free. Tomorrow's chart shows a high pressure system centre moving across Tasmania, extending a ridge to the Bight. A trough extends from Victoria across northern Australia and down the west coast of WA. Southeast to southwesterly winds 10 to 20 knots about the lower east and southeast before dawn, tending easterly about the north in the morning and variable 5 to 15 knots elsewhere until later in the day. Seas mostly 1 to 2 metres. There is a strong wind warning for Storm Bay, the lower east coast and southeast coast. 21 tomorrow in Hobart, partly cloudy, 19 at Adventure Bay, becoming windy, and an early frost, then partly cloudy for Tarraleah, 22. Launceston cloudy, 24, a possible afternoon shower in Devonport, 19, 20 degrees at Bridport and cloudy. Burnie, a possible shower, 18, 21 at Strawn, mostly sunny, 21 at Marrawar also, but partly cloudy there. St Helens, a shower or two, 19, partly cloudy at Swansea, 20, and Whitemark, also partly cloudy, 22 degrees. The UV is 9, which is still in the very high range, and sunrise is at 6:42 a.m. Showers in the north on Wednesday, mostly in elevated areas, fine elsewhere. Thursday, showers across most of the state, less likely in the southeast, clearing in the west later in the day. And Friday, showers about the northeast, mainly fine elsewhere. Looking to the mainland now, sunny in Perth, 34, Adelaide, sunny, 28, Melbourne, also sunny, 25, rain in Sydney, 26, a shower or two for Brisbane, 30, and a sunny day in Alice Springs, 35 degrees. Currently in Hobart, it's partly cloudy and 13, Launceston sunny 20, Devonport mostly sunny 17.